Hello, everybody. Welcome to the weekly bump. We have a really big week this week. Okay, we've got the sun coming into an opposition with Pluto. We have Chiron going retrograde. And tomorrow we have the Venus-Mars conjunction before Venus kind of makes her way into Virgo next week. So let's go ahead and get started. There's lots to talk about. As usual, we have three piles 1, 2, and 3. Pile 1, we're all using aura quartz for each pile. So we have a green for pile 1, orange for pile 2, and blue for pile 3. So the way this works is if you would like to pause the video to kind of feel your way through this, to feel intuitively drawn, you can certainly do that. However, not everybody always feels intuitively called toward a pile. I can always say just randomly pick one because there's usually going to be a message in there for you. There's always a little bit of destiny involved with this. So timestamps will be found in the description box in the comment thread down below so you can easily jump from pile to pile. All right, see you in just a sec. All right, pile number 1, you guys selected the green aura quartz. So let's go ahead here and take a look. All right, so we have Mercury retrograde reinvention. You know, that's pretty much what the whole of 2021, is really all about. Year number 5. I keep harping on that because I think it's really important for us to really understand the overall essence of 2021, which is, to make some radical changes in our lives. No, it's not just that it's 2021, but we also have Saturn square Uranus all year long, right? So, radical change is the name of the game. Plus we have Jupiter, right, that came through Aquarius. It's making its way back into Aquarius via a retrograde on the 28th. So, if we don't change, reinvent, and this week especially important because as the sun comes into the opposition with Pluto, this is even amplified that much more. If we don't change, if we don't evolve, if we don't allow ourselves to become different people, then we're going to have a lot of resentment and repressed emotions and a lot of fears that are just going to kind of take over. I don't think anyone really wants that, right? No one really wants repressed things operating from the underworld of their lives. No one wants that. So we have this chance. We have this opportunity to really take the types of chances that we feel is right for us, to make the changes, to open the doors that we know we want to walk through. So let's take a look at the tarot. We have the 10 of coins, the Ace of Swords, 3 of Swords, King of Cups, Queen of Wands, and the 3 of Cups. I feel like the 3 of Swords and the 3 of Cups are in conflict with one another. Not in conflict, that's the wrong choice of words. They're showing you the contrast. Let's say that. They're showing you the contrast. This 3 of Swords is a very important notion in your life. This pain, disappointment, sadness, which is going to be amplified, by the way, by Chiron retrograde this week. And we have had Chiron in a beautiful trine with the Venus-Mars conjunction in Leo. It's kind of coming off of that now. We've got Chiron at 12 degrees and Mars and Venus at the 20-degree mark. So it's coming off the trine, but yet it's still there to give meaning and purpose to the pain and suffering. Plus, we also have Saturn in a sextile, again, a beautiful, harmonious aspect. And the Chiron Saturn is going to help restructure your life around the healing rather than the pain itself. And there's going to be a lot of clarity this week. I think you're going to have some brilliant insights that are going to be extraordinarily useful as you progress forward. And I don't think with this Ace of Swords that there's any real looking back. You're getting to this point in your life where the things that happened, the things that you've been through, the things that molded you and shaped you into this human being that you see and, when you look in the mirror, this is who you are. This stuff molded you and shaped you, but that's all it did. And now you get to do something with that because it has made you rich in character, deep in understanding. And so now the path, even though it's unknown, even though it's unsure, it's still clear. The unknown is the clarity. The mysteriousness is the knowingness. And it's all leading you to this 10 of coins. I'm kind of seeing this reading kind of working its way from the center out. It's kind of going like this. So the pathway is going in two, again, seemingly opposite ways, but they kind of both end in success and celebration and warmth and love and connection and joy. And I think many of you are starting to make choices that are going to be profitable for you. 10 of coins. They're going to be profitable for you financially, profitable for you emotionally, spiritually, physically, with your physical health. Because when we heal these pains, right? When we heal these pains, our physical health becomes better. We become more, we have more vital energy to our disposal because we're no longer draining vital energy toward this stuff. And when we have the totality of our vital energy, we can channel it and we can dedicate it toward useful things that are productive. And again, I'm going to use that word profitable. The King of Cups is a monster when it comes to achievement, right? He really knows how to get things done. This is a Scorpio card, and the Scorpio energy is ruled by Mars, and we have Mars in beautiful Leo right now. And even this is an Aries card, which is also ruled by Mars. So the Mars energy is really, really coming out for you guys and saying, look, like this week especially, you are going to have so many opportunities because Mars is not going to be in aspect with things really, right? Like as he makes his way to the latter degrees of Leo, right? We have the aspect, no, not even with the nodes at this point, because he's too far off. So he's not really going to be in aspects to things. He's going to be coming off of those aspects and he's going to be free to really do what he wants in the way that he wants to do it. And because the Leo archetype is involved, this is hyper creativity. So it's not even necessarily about the actual execution of things so much as it is the choices that you make in order to get yourself on track. Like, for example, okay, let's say you have a business idea, but one of the things you need is a new website. But this guy doesn't spend his time building his own website because it's not necessarily a critical component of what he's got going on. So he outsources, he hires someone to build his website for him. While in the meantime, he gets to continue building the content or building other relationships or building other things. That's the Mars in Leo. He's not, filling up his schedule with the mundane. Not this week. Venus will enter into Virgo on the 21st. Okay, yeah, when she gets there, that might be a little bit more on the mundane side. Mars entering into Virgo on the 29th. Okay, yeah, it'll be a little bit more mundane. But right now, no, this is big picture, fueled by passion. Know where your energy is best spent. Because if you can outsource a few things or delegate a few things or ask for help with a few things, then your energy gets to be placed in an area where you can be sure that this 10 of coins becomes an inevitability. Because instead of you doing one thing at a time, you can have 5 people doing 5 different things, which means productivity is enhanced even that much more. It's going to get you to the 10 of coins and the 3 of cups that much faster. Small investment, big reward. You guys, you're not tethered anymore. And it's important for us to understand 2021 as a year of untethering. 2020, and I say it over and over, and I'm so sorry for my constant reiteration, but we need to understand that 2020 was about allowing our truth to surface from the underworld, with Jupiter coming conjunct Pluto 3 different times. We had the understanding and the expansiveness of what was going on the underbelly of our lives, within our shadow, Pluto, right? Jupiter and Pluto. But the reason for that was so that this year we could free ourselves from those things. Okay? Because from this point forward, moving into 2022 and 23 and 24, Saturn moves from Aquarius and into Pisces, and eventually in 25 and 26 makes its way into a conjunction with Neptune, which is going to be crazy. We cannot have those tethers anymore, because Saturn in Pisces needs the freedom even more than it does in Aquarius. Okay? Look, guys, a win-win outcome is forecast. Work through your fears. A win-win outcome is forecast. You have to know that maybe the outsourcing or the delegation, or, allowing other people to really help you, that you might be afraid because you might be a little afraid of the cost, or afraid of putting it in someone else's hands, or afraid that they're not going to do it as well as you could do it. This is not about micromanagement this week. Please get that out of your head. This is big picture, follow your heart, right? Venus and Mars and Leo. It's the way a king or a queen would rule a nation. They don't micromanage. They can't. They can't, because if they did, the whole country would lose. The whole nation, the whole empire would fail. So you have to have faith and you have to have trust. That's a part of your reinvention. The way you relate to people, the way you trust that it can be done. Oh, simply love. I love it, especially because we have the green aura quartz, which of course is connected with the heart chakra. This is all from a place of love. First and foremost, a love of self, because of Venus and Mars in Leo and a Chiron retrograde in Aries. You don't really have a choice but to really come in contact with what it is you really love about yourself. What it is you truly want to express, what it is you want to truly give to the world, how you want to contribute, how you want to be. Because when you're riddled with this sort of pain and suffering, you're hiding from the world, and that's not good for anybody, especially not you. And we have blossom. Something is blossoming. Something is blossoming. It's very different, this person that you're becoming. It's very different. It's unique. It's not what you expected of yourself. Defend to the end the worthwhile. Wow, that's beautiful. Defend to the end the worthwhile. Guys, you have to be aware what is and is not worthwhile. Like, I'll use that business example. Is it worthwhile for you to build your own website right now? Is it worthwhile for you to learn a specific skill right now? Or is it better for you to just pay someone else to do that kind of stuff and you keep going on the big vision? I'm seeing the CEO of you being the CEO of your own life really coming out. The CEO, the king or the queen, the emperor, the empress, however you want to think about it. You need to be in a state of leadership right now. You have to lead yourself, lead your families, lead your social circles, whatever. And this is just, it's coming from you guys, this is not an egoic thing at all. And maybe that's part of what the fear is that you always thought that if you were to stand up and start telling people what to do or telling people what you need from them, that you might seem bossy or you might seem bitchy or you might seem like kind of a jerk or whatever, but that is not what's happening here. right? You're stepping into a state of authority. You're commanding respect. And I'm going to tell you, you're going to get a whole lot more done. This is what it means to really have your power and to operate from that state of empowerment. Oh my gosh, I love this. The yang energy, the masculine energy. This is about doing this week. Now, you guys know that it fluctuates. Sometimes you need to surrender and let live and let live and let things just be what they are and let the universe take hold. This is not that kind of week. There are decisions that need to be made. There are actions that need to be taken, phone calls, emails that need to be made. There are choices and things that need to be paid for, right? You have to engage. I'm going to tell you that this has the potential to be one of the most productive weeks or next couple of weeks, probably the rest of the month as the sun makes its way into Leo, that you've had in a very long time. Dog spirit, be loyal to what you love because you have a dream and I know you have a dream. You have goals. I know you have goals. You have, actually, let me move these down so you can kind of see everything better. You have, a kind of life that you see for yourself. Don't you? Don't we all? So, now is not a week to turn your back on that stuff. First of all, you have to admit that you really want it. Sometimes that's often one of the hardest things for us to do because we have such a resistance sometimes to wanting things because we have preconceived notions that it's bad or evil or whatever, right? So that's a part of the Three of Swords and getting over the fears. Fears, guilts, and shames. Stillness. See, there's action. But see, both the King and the Queen here, they're both, again, very Mars ruled, but they're both sitting on thrones. When you think of an emperor or an empress sitting on their throne, telling people what they need from them, they're sitting still. There's a lot of activity going on around you. It's all centered around you. It's okay to be selfish when we have so much Leo energy going on. It's really okay. It's really okay when we've got Chiron going retrograde in Aries, right? Aries and Leo, I feel like they're the two signs where selfishness is like really acceptable. Really, really acceptable. And when you truly get to put yourself first. We have a lot of emphasis on those Zodiac signs this week. Last but not least, new beginnings. Begin your new life. Isn't that ultimately what it's about? Isn't that what it's always about? Beginning your new life. Every day we get to make choices that create a new life. So this is you taking big leaps because you've learned from what happens when you don't live in your power, when you don't live in your throne. When you dethrone yourself, right? We've all done that at some point, whether it's when we were young, we gave our power to our parents or to our siblings or to an authority, right? Or as we were older, we gave our power away to romantic relationship partners, right? There's always some experience. We all have it. There's always some experience where we gave our power away and we had to learn the hard way of the repercussions of that. Now we're doing the opposite. We're keeping and living in our power. And I'm amazed at what incredible things are going to be happening for you because of that. All right. All right, you guys. Pile number 1. Amazing reading. You guys know I love you. Have an amazing week. Take care. Bye-bye. Alrighty, you guys selected the orange aura quartz. Let's go ahead and take a look at what these cards have to say. Starting with Aries, and we know we've got Chiron going retrograde this week, and that's going to be a thing. And you may be feeling it already. Like if you're kind of walking around today and you're like, man, the energy is weird. That's Chiron. Okay, he's super, super slow right now. And he is about to really ask us to heal. That's what a Chiron retrograde is really for. It's It's because, right, whenever time a planet goes retrograde, it's an opportunity for us to go deep inside, to really ask ourselves, where are the hang-ups, where are the pains, the wounds, where are the traumas and the things that, are ultimately holding us back for the sake of healing and regeneration. And for you guys, this has a lot to do with just who you are, your sense of identity, your sense of self. And because we have Chiron in Aries and Mars and Venus finishing out in Leo, there's a lot of self-focus, and everyone is just really thinking about themselves right now, or should be thinking about themselves. Saturn retrograde in Aquarius, right? It's kind of like put the bigger picture to rest right now and start to understand how you and your healing and your sense of independence and self-reliance and your strength and your self-expression and your unique life, how important that is, because that is what creates the bigger picture. That's what creates humanity, right? It's the droplets of the ocean. Without the droplets, the ocean would not exist. And so I feel like you're really taking care of the small stuff. When I say small, I don't mean it's small for you. I mean it's small in the grand scheme of humanity and society as a whole. But still so critical for you in your own life. And okay, beautiful. We have the star. Love the star. We've got the Two of Swords, Queen of Swords, the Hermit, Two of Coins, and the Eight of Rods. I love the star because it's always a card of healing and optimism and hope and little miracles coming true. I have a feeling that you've been putting things out into the universe via thought and emotional frequencies, and you're going to start seeing the external world begin to match those frequencies. I see you really strong right now as the Queen of Swords, mixed with a Hermit energy. This is kind of the energy of an island, right? Where you stand alone. Now, don't be discouraged by that. I'm not saying that that's like a forever and always thing. It's just kind of the nature of the stars right now. Even to have Jupiter still in Pisces. Look, we have to understand that Pisces does have a lot to do with isolation, right? It does have a lot to do with kind of separating yourself from the material, physical world and sort of joining with source or spirit and kind of going back to where we came from. I always call Pisces, or the 12th house energy, kind of being sucked back into the void, right? And so I know that a lot of people are feeling very separate right now. Separateness is an illusion, but it's still perceived. But I don't mind it for you guys because I think a lot is going on. There's a lot of wisdom because we have the Hermit coming out, right? So you're coming into higher levels of wisdom that can be useful in the world in the long run. This is not a time of isolation that is riddled with sadness or depression or anything like that. It's meditation, connecting with spirit, filling with gratitude, right? Especially with the star, filling with ideas and going through a creative flow. And even if you are feeling stuck, don't worry, that's just Chiron right now, so it's not going to last forever. Once he starts going retrograde in the weeks to come, we'll get a little bit more comfortable with that retrograde motion, and we'll actually feel a lot less blocked, and we'll actually be able to be productive with the things that come to our mind right now. If you are in a state of brainstorming, by all means, just keep the brainstorming going as much as possible, because the Queen of Swords, she really likes to collect a lot of information in order to make decisions. She's kind of like the, this is a Libra card. So when we have this Libran judge, right, the two scales, Lady Justice coming out, show me evidence on both sides and then I'll make a decision. Show me the pros and cons. Show me the two options. Show me the things. Give me time to think about it. and then I'll make a decision. So right now I kind of feel like you're in a data collection mode right now, collecting data from yourself, from your own feelings, and collecting data from the external world. You clearly have some kind of a choice placed in front of you, or some, series of options that are potentials for you. And that's great, but I also don't see you jumping into anything, because here you even are, right? We have the Two of Coins and the Two of Swords. So there's a lot of consideration going on. Don't be discouraged if you just simply are not sure which one you want to take. Okay, because as the sun comes into this opposition with Pluto, this is not an easy transit, okay? Please don't let anyone tell you that it is. Sun opposite Pluto, there's a complete and utter and absolute reinvention going on right now in terms of your identity. And as the sun makes its way back home into Leo in the next week or so, right? Because actually on the 22nd it comes in, so actually like next week. On the 22nd, it will go into Leo, into its sign of rulership. So we're kind of in this place of, we know we're changing, but what we're changing into is still yet to be determined. This Eight of Wands is a suggestion that when you make a decision, Queen of Swords, when you make a decision and you slam that gavel onto your desk and say, here's my ruling, here's my decision, boom, things are going to start happening really, really, really fast. That's a guarantee. Which is why, and the thing is, I think you know that, which is why these cards here are in such deep contemplation, and they're both looking at the Aries I am, because you're trying to pull this information out from the deepest, most pure and connected to source place of yourself. Because you don't want to do it from ego. You don't want to do it from a place of pain and wounding and trauma. You don't want to do it from a place of social conditioning. You want to do it from your soul, which is completely unaffected by any of those things. And sometimes it takes a minute to sift through all the noise to get back to this original state. Now, the Aries archetype, right, has to do with kind of being born as the first Zodiac sign. It's that moment when the soul enters the body and there's this union between spiritual and physical, and they merge. And this is how the I am begins. So it's kind of like coming back to your infancy, to that level of purity, like the day that you were born, where there is no separation between child and mother type of thing. Right? There's still no consciousness of separateness. So it's okay that you're taking time. It's okay. Don't push yourself right now. Okay, end of a tough cycle approaches. So maybe that is a feeling of relief. Right? That something is ending, something is closing, and you have to give it time to close. You have to let it find its resolution. And maybe that's one thing, that's why the patience is coming through with the Queen and the Hermit. The wisdom of patience. Luck is on your side. And I have no doubt with the Eight of Wands, when that decision is made, really incredible things are going to happen. You learned a lot through this tough cycle. You learned a lot through the pain and the failures and the stress and the anxiety and the betrayals and the whatevers you went through, right? You've learned a lot with that. And now it's time to turn things around. You know what I'm really loving? Like, we have the fiery nature of Aries, and this is a moon in Sagittarius, okay? And we also have the Capricorn energy. Now, Mars is the ruler here of Aries. It's exalted in Capricorn, and it does very well in Sagittarius, because even the symbol of Sagittarius kind of looks like the Mars symbol, like the masculine symbol. So there is a lot of Mars action energy, but it's mature and restrained. It's not restrained in a bad way, but in a intelligent way. I'm only going to use my Mars. I'm only going to set my Mars loose when it's for a real purpose. When I'm actually climbing a very specific kind of mountain, as we see with Capricorn. Or if it's not climbing a mountain, it could be swimming to the depths of the ocean, because we have the sea goat. So we have the ability to climb mountains and the ability to swim very deep in the waters. Got a little fly going on here. I keep opening my window for that fly to go out, and he just will not fly out the window. I don't know how to get him out of my house. But anyway, so anyway, luck is on your side. All right, we have confrontation. And we also have sadness and isolation. It's not a bad thing, okay? Because again, Jupiter in Pisces and Neptune in Pisces, both retrograde, are going to bring out that part of us where we do feel alone. Connected, but alone. And sometimes we feel like we're the only ones that really get it, or we're the only ones that truly feel this way. It's not true. Don't delude yourself in thinking that you're the only one that really understands the big picture or whatever. But you may still feel that way and perceive that in your life right now. You're given an opportunity here to really confront the part of you that might be afraid to really pull the trigger on things, that might be afraid to make certain choices here. But actually, maybe it's not even fear. I'm actually looking at this card, and I know this is supposed to be like the shadow, but it almost looks like the shadow inner child, because this shadow is so small. There's like an inner child quality, and because Aries is involved, there's definitely that inner child. Maybe a few of you are kind of going to court, metaphorically, going to court with your own internal court system, your own internal justice system, and you're being held accountable against your inner child. Are you the person that your 6-year-old self thought that you would be? Would your 6-year-old self be really happy with where you are? Now is the time to get back on course. If there ever was a time, this year is the time. Dream a beautiful dream, because it's going to come true. 8 of Wands. Luck is on your side. You might as well ask for the things that you want. The things that you have always wanted. The things that you've known you've always wanted your whole life. Dream a beautiful dream. Allow yourself to do that. Allow yourself to go big with it. New life. And you know that. See, that's the thing. That's one of the reasons why I think you're thinking so critically about things, right? You're really wanting to collect all the information here. You're really wanting to know, not only collect external information, but also internal information as well. Because you know that once you make that decision, not only is it going to happen fast, but there is a whole new life for you. A whole new set of people, a whole new career, a whole new financial situation, a whole new romantic situation, a whole new set of friends, a whole new home life, like whatever it is, you know that it's going to be entirely new. And that can be scary sometimes. Because the question is are you truly ready to let go of what you've had? Some people will be ready, other people will not be ready. The owl spirit, you see clearly now. And with the hermit, with the lantern, and even the Queen of Swords, with that sort of light sort of dinging off of her sword there is this beacon of light. There is clarity. Without question, there is clarity. And don't fool yourself into thinking that you're not clear. Don't fool yourself into thinking that you don't have what you need. You have what you need. You have the information. You have the context. You do see clearly. Strength, mountain. This decision will require strength and courage for sure. But this is you taking control, you taking power back. That's a big theme this year as well, taking your power back. Back in April, I know I said, and I've been saying every month since, change your energy, change your life. And a lot of people, to change the energy means that you are finally, for the first time in a very long time, stepping into your power. And really knowing what the heck that even means. Because I think a lot of people, they say that, they don't even know what it means. Some people know what it means, but still don't have the wherewithal to actually do it. They know what they want to do, they know what they should be doing, but there's still hesitation. Now I see no hesitation, and I don't see any excuse good enough to not be doing that. And the last card is knowledge. Seek knowledge, and that's exactly what the Hermit is doing. And it's not the knowledge of man. It's the knowledge of God. The knowledge of your true nature. The knowledge of your true origin. Aries, right? The knowledge of your origin. Who you really are. What you really are. Because when you have that knowledge, when you have that wisdom, there's no reason to ever be afraid of anything ever. And now is a time where fear is an outdated notion. Okay? It's an outdated notion. All right, you guys, beautiful reading. You guys know I love you. I wish you nothing but the best this week. Have a good one. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye. Alrighty, you guys selected the blue aura quartz. Let's go ahead here and see what this pile has to say. So we start with the earth element, stability. And I love that actually with the blue aura quartz, because the blue is connected with that throat chakra, and there's the creative component, right? Because the throat, or the voice box, right, is really where the metaphysical becomes physical, right? Because we are taking ideas, thoughts, and emotions, creating vibration, which is creating form. We're creating a physical form. This is like our most basic alchemical, magical, or magician, or alchemist, like the most basic fundamental way that we do this. And I feel with the stability card coming out, or the earthy card, there's a lot of groundedness. So I'm kind of actually feeling the root, like a tree of life. Let's say that, right? Here we have the roots growing underground, and here we have the tree growing out. So there's the self-expression with the blue crystal as the tree above ground, and the roots that keep you grounded. And as much as you want to self-express, the more grounded you need to be. The way you get grounded is through meditation, through confronting your own fears. Because when you self-express, you open yourself up. There's a lot of vulnerability, there's a lot of criticism, there's a lot of, a lot of things that a lot of people have to say, and you're going to have to figure out how to become untouchable. For a lot of you who are artists in some way, shape, or form, writers, painters, musicians, performing artists, this is your week, right? Mars and Venus finishing out the last degrees of Leo. Now, not only that, but with Vedic astrology, we actually have Mars and Venus entering into Leo. So this is the week where, whether we're using Western astrology or sidereal astrology, we've got Mars and Venus in Leo. Okay, this is the week when that happens. So we have some pretty incredible opportunity here to let our voices shine, to let our talents, to let our skills, to let our beauty really be shown into the world. This is not necessarily about hiding, being quiet. Pile 2 had a lot of isolation going on, but not pile 3, I don't think. I don't know what the rest of the cards have to say, but there might be a contradiction, but as it stands right now, the way I'm seeing it is this is your time to get grounded enough so that what you wish to bring into the world can do so and flourish and not be hindered too much by others. Oh, beautiful Knight of Cups. I love that. 5 of Cups, 6 of Cups. Oh, Strength, Temperance, 9 of Rods. Yeah, there's so much strength coming out here. We not only got the Strength card, but we also have the 9 of Wands, which is a suggestion of courage, okay? It's a suggestion of standing up and standing up for what you create, standing up for the world that you wish to have, right? And I see you being a wonderful front man, not only the creator. It's kind of like when I'm kind of envisioning like a band or a musician up on stage. That's the blue crystal chakra, right? You're up on stage, you're being seen, you're being celebrated, but then you also have the security around the outer skirts of the stage to make sure that no one infiltrates the stage, right? To make sure no one comes in to disrupt the process. So not only are you on stage, but you're also your own security team. Okay. And I think that it's a really, really, really good time for you to start asking yourself who is and is not conducive to your creativity, who hinders it, who supports it, who's good for it, who's bad for it. What makes it better? What makes it worse? You got to be honest. Like for real, you got to be super, super honest. Because there might be people that you're going to have to let go. 5 of Cups. Because this crystal, it's weird. The first 2 piles, the crystal didn't really shine out to me or really kind of stand out in any way, shape, or form. This time it's like all about that blue crystal. Like boom, it's smacking me in the face here. Like this is what this whole week is about. That throat chakra. Look, if it's a thing you have to communicate, a thing you have to say, could just be that as well. But you have to make sure that you create the space to actually do that, because what's so beautiful with the 6 of Cups and the Knight of Cups is there's something so magical. And I have this feeling that you're going to have this beautiful inspiration that just flows through you. So let's say you're a writer or a poet or a musician, right? You know those moments. We've all had those moments. I even get it when I do my tarot. Like there are some days when I just like really struggle with the cards and I'll lay them out and I have no idea what the heck they're trying to tell me. Like no clue and no words come to me at all. And then there are days when I sit down and I feel like I have the most profound connection with Source and it just flows through and I have absolutely no idea what I'm even saying, but somehow it resonates with you guys, right? And I don't even remember what I say. And that's when that art, that's when that beauty just sort of, that's when you really become a pure channel. And I see you channeling incredible things into this world, incredible ideas, and just really like there's something so soulful about it. It's so heartfelt, it's so real, and it's so magical. We have a card of Pisces coming out here, so we have to look at the Jupiter-Neptune retrogrades. I mean, these retrogrades are pulling out just the most beautiful, starry-eyed, poetic, absolutely stunning aspects of our soul, right? Or aspects really of Source itself. But you have to protect it. You have to protect your peace. You have to protect your time, your schedule. You have to protect your energy. Because without that, you're just going to have people coming at you and requesting things of you and, hey, can you do this? Can you do this? And you're just going to like have all this beautiful potential energy that just like just completely just goes flat on its face because You're not prioritizing it. You're not protecting it. This is like the energy of an artist who locks themselves in their studio with no phone, no internet, right? Locks the door, says, don't bother me until I come out of here, right? They sleep in there, they'll eat in there, they'll do whatever in there until that energy subsides. And I feel like you kind of almost have to take it that seriously. Because this is going to set in motion something in the future. Like, this is foundational, right? Earth element. This is the foundation of something else, which is why it's so important, which is why you must protect it, which is why it's not just something that's, fleeting. It comes in and out. No, it's not like that. There's stability here. And that's one thing to remember. Saturn retrograde in Aquarius, the past 6 months, when Saturn and Jupiter did their conjunction in Aquarius on December 21st of 2020, Saturn's going to be here for 2 years. So we've got like a year and a half left. The changes that we make with Saturn in Aquarius, it's not just for the sake of change. It's for rebuilding something better. All right? It's to reestablish new types of systems that actually work. And you can apply that within your own life. And if you look out at the world, you can see like it's volatile out there. You know what I mean? And that's globally and internationally. And individually. I'm sorry, not internationally, individually. Now bring love into the situation, and conclusions are within reach. Now the thing with this is new moon in Aquarius. Aquarius love is not like Libra love, where it's about marriage and relationships or whatever, right? This is Aquarius. This is love from the cosmos, love from spirit, love that encompasses all. This is where your art comes from. This is where your self-expression comes from. This is your contribution to humanity. This is your contribution to make the world a better place, to teach people things, to encourage people, or to set yourself as an example of courage. Because we need more courageous people in this world. Conclusions are, I think the conclusions that you're going to be coming to has a lot to do with this 5 of coins. If I'm actually like looking at this, the 5 of cups. The conclusions about what needs to be spilled over, what needs to be moved on from. It could be past relationships. Could be something that happened in your childhood. It could be whatever, but I think that we are all going through this process of true healing, where the things that have been operating subconsciously for years, they're suddenly coming to an end. We're finding freedom from those pains. We're coming to conclusions about what those things meant for us and why they had to happen. But we come to those conclusions so that we can officially lay new foundations for new things that are not tainted by the trauma and wounds of the past. There's a clean slate on the docket for most of us. And because you are operating from a place of love, you're operating from a place of really understanding your own humanity, it makes your freedom even that much more pure. Opportunity beckons. Helpless and hopeless. Okay, this one's kind of a Debbie Downer, all right? This card here, it's a little bit melancholy. However, that goes well again with the 5 of Cups, because there are situations where you are helpless. There are situations that are hopeless. And the whole point is to let go of those. The whole point is to let it go so that you don't continue down those paths. If something is hopeless, right? Let's say you're looking for a new job, but you know in your heart of hearts that that new job is not going to bring you fulfillment, well, then that opportunity for that new job is a hopeless one. So why would you choose that? Of all the paths you could take, why limit yourself to either a helpless path or a hopeless path? Those are not the only two options for you to take. And what I see here, opportunity beckons with this Knight of Cups, strength and temperance. See, the temperance is a beautiful card to get because there's an actual image of an angel, which means there's a guardianship at play here, meaning you're not unsafe. You're not on treacherous territory. You're not in a scary position here at all. You're not going to fall flat on your face because the angels won't let you. So the Knight of Cups comes out and it says, follow this sense, follow this feeling that something is moving you, right? Because something's moving you in a new direction. Something is moving you to speak or to create or to perform. It's moving you to contribute. This is not a complicated process. The Knight of Cups is a very easy energy. It just meanders. It's this beautiful saunter, as I like to say. It just sort of saunters through, kind of has a little bit of a sway. It's relaxed. It's enjoying the environment, the sunshine, the birds singing. It's enjoying everything of the moment. Everything is a poetry. Everything is a beautiful song. Everything is a beautiful feeling. That's the opportunity to move in that direction. Follow your own rhythm with love. Bring love into the situation. The love of God, the love of self, the love of this physical experience, the love of life itself, of the physicality, the love of the body, the love of the senses. We can't help it. We are a self-expressive species. It's one of the things that makes us so great and so incredible. So you get to follow your own rhythm here. The thinker. That's the Five of Cups, I think, coming out. It's that energy of resistance, actually. I don't really like that thinker card too much. It's not about thinking, but I think your inner thinker is going to come out. Don't overthink it to death. Your own rhythm cannot be thought into existence. All right? It's more... It's more expansive than that, I think. It's more internalized. It's more from the heart. I'm looking at the green border around this particular card here. And I'm kind of thinking the green connected with the heart chakra. I'm not trying to make this too complicated, but the green with the heart chakra with the words opportunity knocks or beckons or whatever. Follow your own rhythm. It's coming from the heart space, not from the mind. Groundhog spirit, time to let go. And not just to let go of the past things, but to let go of your own restrictions. One of the greatest, I love how she's dancing in this card, because one of the greatest activities to do is like mirror work, right? To dance in front of a mirror, to dance out in your backyard, to dance around a fire, to dance in the forest. To dance. I remember reading, I think it was a book, an Osho book. I can't remember exactly. I know he's kind of controversial, but I still love Osho nonetheless. Love the teachings. And I think it was Osho that talked about dance as being the best way to shed your karma. Because if you dance, and you dance until you literally cannot stand up anymore, just kind of plop to the ground in absolute and utter exhaustion. It's like shaking all that energy loose, getting that chakra system really running really smooth. And I kind of am feeling like dancing as a form of self-expression as well is going to be really beneficial for you and will help you in all your other creative endeavors. Childhood innocence. It's like almost like no one's watching. Right? Because you've locked the door anyway. This is your own process. You don't have to show this to any, you don't have to share this with anyone. Even if you're married, like this belongs to you and only you. This is, you don't have to open your door to anybody. You get to live so free behind the, it's like, again, that musician up on stage, right? With the energy from the crowd and the light and the sound and the power of the bass just beating through your body. Like there is so much liberation that happens. Like you guys have been at some of those concerts, right? Where you just like, oh, you feel so good because everything, just the whole energy of the whole situation is so beautiful and perfect. And I feel like there's something so perfect about the rhythm and the energy flow that just wants to course through you. It wants to use you as a vessel. Right? Oh, look at this. Celebration. Let go and have fun. And she's got like these rainbows coming out of her hands. That's what this is all about. Having fun. I don't know. I have this feeling that you have the potential to come in contact with real love this week. With like the love that created everything, right? This is the Creator's love. And a whole new understanding of life itself is possible for you if you embrace it, if you want it, if you go with it. But you have to go with it. You have to flow. You have to embrace. A lot of people won't. And that's okay. But if you do, there are going to be so many blessings on the other side of this. Okay? All right, pile number 3. I'm going to leave you with that. Thank you so much. You guys know I love you. I wish you nothing but the best. Have a great week. Take care. Bye-bye.